There she is, Patti Murin, and she's an actress in Frozen. She plays Anna,
Yep.
and her sister is Elsa. Our daughter Olivia broke that down for me. By the way, I was going to ask you how you people mispronounce your last name and how you get it right. I'm going to leave that alone. Give us the Frozen story. With the two sisters, what's the deal?
It's basically about two sisters who are the best of friends, and one of them happens to be able to shoot ice from her hands. And it gets out of control when they're kids, and she accidentally hits her sister and almost kills her. And so they spend the rest of their childhood separated. And it's basically all about the quest to find each other again. Elsa accidentally unleashes her powers again at her coronation when she becomes the queen, and she runs away, and Anna literally climbs a mountain to go and find her because she loves her sister and she doesn't want to lose her again. But Elsa doesn't want to. She wants to protect her sister from herself. So it's basically that. But Elsa she sets off an eternal winter everywhere. So aside from the problem of the relationship of the sisters, they also have to figure out how to basically save the world.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
And by the way, I talked to our daughter about this. She said that Frozen, is it just about one of the most popular kids' movies first?
I believe it's the most successful animated film of all time. I believe.
Does that make more pressure?
At one point. What?
Does that create more pressure?
You know, it a little bit, but they did such a great job of taking the story that everyone already knew and loved and translating it to the stage. And we have 12 new songs, and there's so much more opportunity to actually delve into the characters. And what's great is that they're animated characters, and we're the first people that are actually embodying them. Like the first people on Broadway that are actually embodying these humans. So we're humanizing them, which is really cool. Everyone has their favorites and their opinions, but honestly, everyone who's come to see the show and the fans have just been nothing but supportive.
By the way, speaking of humanizing, where did you come from?
I grew up in a small town. Like I look up, like it's north of New York City.
Is that how you can do it? I grew up in Canada. No.
A small town called Hopewell Junction, which is just near Poughkeepsie, yeah.
You come to New York for the first time, what year?
Probably, oh my gosh, I would say probably when I was a baby. My parents took us.
I actually meant to work, but...
Oh, to work? Oh. 2002?
Okay, so you come in 2002. What's it for?
I moved here right after college because I majored in musical theater, and this was just where I was headed.
So again, people are tired of me asking this, but two things. Number one, when did you know that this was what you wanted to do?
Probably in high school, I would say. It was when I saw people. It's when I realized that there was a theater major. There was you could go to college for this. And my parents were so supportive, and I don't remember ever not knowing.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And I'm curious about this. So dancing, singing, acting, the whole three.
Yes.
All three. How do you juggle?
Well, I mean, you're pretty much always acting, even if, while you're dancing, while you're singing.
But did dancing come naturally to you?
I started when I was 3, so yeah, I say I'm a dancer in that I can dance, but you won't see me like auditioning for a chorus line or Cats or anything like that. I'm not a technically proficient dancer, even though I took it for basically my entire life. But I love when I get the opportunity to dance because it's a thing I don't get to do terribly often, but I get to do quite a bit of it in this one.
So I'm curious about this, keeping Frozen fresh, excuse the way I'm phrasing that. Is that challenging at all?
Not really. I mean, it's been almost...
Because I know that story.
Yeah.
So what?
Well, what's cool about it is that, I mean, theater is such like a living, breathing thing, and so you have a different audience, and it's automatically a different show, and
because the audience is different.
Yes, yep. They react in different ways. They're different, all different ages. You have different matinees are wildly different from night shows. And so you always have to kind of navigate that in a fun way. But also, it's just I love doing the show every night and finding new things. There's still so much to find.
New things. Why is Georgette, our producer, asking me to ask you about two guys in hockey jerseys who came to see the show? What's up with that?
Oh yeah, we obviously, the kids are coming to Frozen and the families are coming, but we've had so many people, we've had 60th birthday parties where a bunch of women will come, and but in our first week of previews, we had these two guys who came to the show, and they're literally in the second row, and they're wearing hockey jerseys, and I was like, because I could see them during the bows, and I was like, what are they doing here? And they were out on the stage door line, and I finally went up to them and I was like, what are you doing here? Because they didn't have kids.
Were they Rangers jerseys?
Yes.
Okay, just checking.
Yes. Yeah. I was like, what are you guys doing here? You don't have dates. You don't have kids. You're
You didn't really ask them that.
mid-20s. Yeah, I did. Yeah, totally. And they were like, well, I was supposed to have a blind date today, and she canceled. So I ran to the Frozen box office and got us the last 2 tickets for today. And I was like, hey, we're going to Frozen. So it wasn't even like he was supposed to go to Frozen for his date. His date got canceled.
Where's the other guy come from?
He's just his buddy. They were going to the hockey game that night.
And they went to see, and they had a great time.
Yep, loved
Now
it.
that just proves
Yeah.
that Frozen is for everyone.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did you sign the jersey?
I did, yeah.
You did?
I sure did. Yeah, they wanted me to. I was like, okay.
Are you a hockey fan? It doesn't matter.
No.
See, they're never going to forget that moment.
Yeah. It was pretty cool. It was really, and again, it's the themes of Frozen are so.
By the way, is it clear that we're here in New York?
No, not at all.
Can't hear anything? I'm
Not
sorry.
at all.
I'm sure they'll edit that out. I interrupted you. Go ahead.
The themes of Frozen are quite deep and quite, what you would consider adult material. This also almost kills her sister when she's younger. It's about concealing, and it's about the power of true love, and it's about, hiding yourself away and actually learning to accept yourself. So even though, the movie obviously spoke to a lot of children, I went to see it with my then boyfriend, now husband, on a date night. And I watched it, and I loved it, and I cried, and I laughed, and I was like, we didn't have kids. And most of my friends are the same way. It is perceived as a children's show and a children's story, but honestly, I think it's so much deeper and a bit darker than that.
And now you are Anna.
Weird, right?
And
I actually saw it at the movie theater just 2 blocks away.
Look at you. Patti, I want to thank you for joining us.
Of course, thank
wish
you
you
for
nothing but the
having me.
best.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thanks.
Okay, stay right there. We're right back, one-on-one, right after this.
Autism is one of the fastest-growing developmental disorders in the U.S. Here in New Jersey, 1 in every 41 children is diagnosed with autism. And when a child is diagnosed with autism, every member of the family is affected. While there currently is no cure for autism, early detection and intervention can offer critical improvements for the child and tremendous benefits for the family. To learn more about autism, contact the Binder Autism Center at St. Joseph's Children's Hospital.
Also brought to you by
The Russell Berry Foundation and by
RWJ Barnabas Health.